Contact. We're almost ready to start building that fence. Welcome to the channel this morning, guys. We're headed over to the cows. Good morning. It is chilly. Mud. Mud, 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 more mud. Ice, mud. Not enough room to turn around. Ooh, Daddy. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Stony Ridge Farmer live stream here from the Stony Ridge Farm in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina, and it's cold. It's about 35 degrees or so right now. This morning, when I woke up, or when I got out of bed, I guess, it was somewhere in the neighborhood of 23 degrees. We are on the backside of the farm right here. You're going to have a little bit of a bad signal for just a minute till we get right up here where the cows are. So top of the morning to you. Where is your help? What help? It's just me, man. Just me. Volume is perfect. Thanks, Jeremy. So the cows are right up here. What we're going to be doing, it's about time. It's about time to start getting busy building fence again over here on the other side of the farm. You're going to start seeing some videos pop up of me prepping the area. I've got some chainsaw work to do. I've got some forestry mulcher work to do. I've got some fence posts to pound in, and I am awaiting a contractor with specialized tools to help me get the job done. So we're starting the next leg of fencing, probably fencing in somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 to 35-ish acres. So cows are here, and as you can see, it's wet. It's been muddy, it's mucky. We've got pug marks in here. We've got, nutrient here. We've got the soil healing here. And you girls are putting out that good butt fertilizer that we love so much. So the cows are all right there. And what we're going to be doing today is simply unrolling a hay bale. We spoke about this yesterday. So we've got to get a little bit more nutrient and a little bit of hay down right here where the cows are traveling pretty heavily. This evening, I'll roll out a bale of hay today, this morning, and then this evening, I'm going to move the cows to the next section of pasture. They've been on this piece for 5 days. That's 5 hay bales rolled out. 5 times 50. What is 5 times 50? It's $250 worth of biomass, worth of carbon that's been put on the soil out here. So let's take a quick look at what the land looks like right now. And you guys it's going to be a mind blower when it comes to springtime here. What we're doing on the farm, it's really going to make a huge difference. So I'm going to go ahead, got ice on the seat this morning. I'll go ahead and fire up the four-wheeler here. There we go. I'm going to cycle this key twice. Make sure it's not a fuel issue that's frustrating this machine. Nah, this is due for a tune-up, maybe an air filter. Shouldn't take this long to start. Good gracious. You're getting on my nerves. Look at the smoke. I haven't seen that out of the Honda. I think we got a plug fouled or something going on here. Might need to run it. I don't know. We got smoke. I don't know what's going on here. Huh. It's got me thinking. I typically we don't get smoke out of the four-wheeler unless it's burning inefficiently, and I'm getting a little bit of smoke out of that machine. That is not cool. Dear goodness gracious, we don't need to lose another machine. So all the girls are right here, girls and boys, and what we've done for the past few days is we've unrolled hay all the way up into here. What's this cow got going on? What you doing? What we got? Got somebody up here that's looking a little, what you got going? 13.5. You're always into something. You're a troublemaker. Did you know that? Total troublemaker. Oh man. So anyway, we've been unrolling hay out here. This again is 5 bales. This will make the 5th bale today. They've been out here on this section of land for 5 days straight. So you get to watch me back up to a hay bale and struggle bus a little bit this morning. We're going to go ahead and get prepared for our next bale by pulling out these critters right here. Let me raise this up where it needs to be. All right, that's about the center of the next bale. This is a Greg Judy bale unroller right here. And if I can, with one hand, there we go. We'll get that squared away, get this guy out of here, and we'll do the next one. Little trash. This is all trash that I picked up off of the ground here. Car parts, hay bale strings, cans, Mylar balloons, cups, all sorts of stuff. Always picking up garbage out here on the farm, whether it comes in from the air or actually comes in through a hay bale. And that's kind of what happened. A lot of this trash came in. Had a couple cups come in on a hay bale. You girls hungry? You're gonna get double portion today, so don't worry, be happy. You're gonna get a good double portion. I'm gonna go ahead and set our camera up here so you guys can see. This is the hay bale we'll be backing up to right here. There we go. So we'll just pull on over here and get you hooked up. My son got a recall on his Honda 420, something to do with the fuel injection system. Try Polaris. Mine's a 2015 and a beast. I want the direct drive. I don't want the belt drive of the Polaris. I believe the Polaris is a belt drive system. I still think that butt fertilizer is not free. You're paying dearly for that hay. John, yep, but they got to eat, brother. So, is what it is. I was just watching my buddy Greg's channel, Greg Judy. He's having to feed hay this year too. We're all having to feed hay a little bit early this year. It was a pretty strange year for rain and heat and weather. But I'm glad I got my hay in early. Ended up buying hay early this year. Hopefully hay prices will go down next year. We'll see. This is normally a bit of a challenge. I don't know if you guys have ever backed up a stubby little trailer. That's what this is like. There we go. This should get me. Yep. Right on. After today, the ATV, either today or tomorrow, I'm going to come back over here, get this ATV, and we'll take it back to the shop and do a little welding on it. And we'll do a service on the ATV. I just changed the oil, but man, it does seem to be smoking a little bit. I don't know what that is. If that's a fuel mixture issue or just a spark plug needs to be replaced, we'll see. This is a good workout. Boy, that's a tight bale. That's what you want, but man, it'll work you. So the first year of putting hay out on this land, those hay bales were nowhere near that tight. So we were getting more hay out of it. That's the deal. All right, I'm out of breath. Whew. Cold weather, that thing kicked my butt. Okay, let's take you over here. We'll bring the four-wheeler over in a second, and we'll be unrolling. Does your phone, I want you guys to tell me, does your phone have a setting when you bump it, it asks you if you want to delete what you just typed? Good gracious. Mine keeps asking me that. So we're going to go in right here, and we're going to go up to back into there where the cows have been walking, and our first stroke will be rolling back through here. So I'm going to pull in, circle around, back to there, cut the string, and then roll it out this way. So bear with me. I'll be back in a sec. One bale a day. We figure I'm feeding hay for 3 months. 1 to 1.5 bales a day, I should say. I may start rolling out 1.5 because 1 doesn't seem to make them fat. All right. As you guys know, I broke the baling roller, and it was my fault. That's why I got to do the welding to fix it. So guys, tell me where you're watching. Where are you watching from? What state? What town? And what's the weather like where you're at? We've had quite the cold snap here in North Carolina. Guys, back up, okay? Back up, guys. We're pulling through. Back up, guys. Back up. Got one cow, you can just tell that it wants to jump. Hey, move, knucklehead. Good gracious. Get your stinking butt back over there. Go back over there. Go back over there. Turd. Figured that was going to happen. I'm surprised that's the first time that's happened. Okay. If they were really, really hungry, they'd be butting and grabbing at that bale. So they're in good shape. That's a good thing. We're gonna go ahead out here and get these girls fed. All right, kids. Look out. Look out. Look out, muddy buddies. My little nutty butties. All right, we're gonna pull up here. Might not be able to see this too well, but there's a muddy area right here I'm trying to address. I'm gonna pull up and then back in. And it's gonna confuse the cows. Dude, move. Oh, it's hard to back this thing in the mud. But I think we got it. Oh, muddy, muddy, muddy. All right, girls, food's almost ready. Chuck wagon's here. Chuck wagon's here, girls. Almost ready. Just hang tight. Ugh. Almost ready, kids. There we go. All right, look out. Hayes a coming. Woo! Look out. Look out, girls. Look out. You see me coming, don't you? Look out, look out, look out. There we go. Now we're talking. Haha. Awesome. Man, it's mucky out here, guys. It's super mucky. There's a cup I need to get, piece of trash. All right, good times. We're gonna go check on the cows. Don't worry. Just hang tight. All right, we gotta open this gate and get out of here. There we go. Okay. Well, you can tell the fence has got some pop to it right now. All right. So there are a few things we've got to address real quick before we move the cows up into here. And we're going to go together and we're going to address those things. You can see they're chowing down on the hay bale. I just did one stripe here, circled back around, did another stripe, and then went down the hill. There's a chunk of hay down there. They'll all be gobbling that up very soon. There's a lot of leaf debris in this hay bale, which tells me it was on the edge of a woods, and this is spring cut hay from this season right here. I do have a piece of trash. I'm wading through the, it's mud, but it's only about that deep, like maybe an inch deep. So the pasture that the hayfield that this was mowed on, evidently is on the side of the road and has some wooded areas. So I end up picking up some trash. I have to kind of inspect what I'm rolling out to make sure but there is a little trash. There was a couple sticks in there too. Not really a fan of that, especially at 47 bucks a bale. But there's really honestly nothing the fella could do that's cutting the hay and baling it for me. So we'll just put this in the trash pile again. So first thing we got to do real quick is address a fencing issue that I see. And I can't address it from inside this pasture. We'll have to walk to the other pasture. We're going to inspect everything, make sure we're ready to rock and roll to move up here and to give the girls some fresh grass for tomorrow or this evening and tomorrow. They will be in this section of pasture for approximately 5 days also. And the goal here, at this time of year, there's not a lot of forage out here on the ground. So the goal is to let the cows actually beat up the land just a little bit, okay? I want them to stir up the land. I want them to beat up the land. And what I'm going to do in those spots that they're beating up is I'm going to roll the hay out, and that'll put grass seed down, and that'll help with our forage for next year. And year in and year out, this will continue to get better and better. This is my poly wire that I need for this next section of pasture. Simply, I made this little handle, and all I got to do is hook it right on there. What happens is the cows rub against the fence to scratch, and they inevitably will knock that off. I have some different mounting setups that are over here that I haven't put in place right there. So why don't you put the hay down first, then move the cows? I'm not putting hay down and moving the cows. I guess I don't understand what you mean. If I come in here tomorrow, in other words, I'm not going to move the cows into this field and unroll a bale of hay. I'm going to move the cows into this field. They're going to graze it overnight, and then tomorrow about this time I'll come and unroll a bale of hay. So that's pretty much it. If you put the hay out, if I unrolled it today, which is an option, what it's going to do is wick up moisture from the ground and make that hay a little bit less palatable for the cows. So I get what you're saying. Why not go ahead of the cows today and just go ahead and roll that bale out? That way I can just move them tonight. Well, there are two reasons. First reason, I want to put them in here and let them graze forage, what little forage is left. And the second reason is, if you put the hay out a day ahead of time, unroll it a day ahead of time, it can wick the moisture up out of the soil into the hay, make it less palatable, and therefore they'll eat less of it. So that's the reason. Hopefully that explains that. Why does Josh have one donkey with the cows? That is a guard donkey. Tammy watches after the babies. She will kick a coyote's butt. So that's what Tammy is there for. She is, she's my baby protector, okay? So let's go on in the pasture with the cows here, into the muddy pasture. And a lot of farms you'll see in the wintertime, the whole farm will look like that right there. This place will not look like that, but it is a little muddy. This is the pasture on the Stony Ridge farm that has the least grass and needs the most attention. They will come back through here in about 30 days and they'll get fed more hay on this piece of property, on this little section. This is about 4 acres, maybe 4.5 acre paddock right here. My goal is to split this into 4 different paddocks in the summertime. In order to do that, we've got to get these girls eating this high quality hay and get some good grass seed down. Notice, man, there's 180 of you in here. It's good to have you guys. Notice that I'm putting the hay on the upper side of the hill. The rainwater will wash the nutrient. As this stuff rots, it'll wash the nutrient and the manure down the hill, okay? We will come in and we will drag this pasture sometime in potentially the end of December or January, right after they come back through. So, but most likely January. So everybody's looking good, looking fat. Those who don't have a calf on them, number 211, big old chubby girl. Everybody's looking pretty chubby right now, which is a good thing. We've got, this cow definitely has a calf on her. She's She's pretty slim. Sweetie, hey sweetie, good morning. How are you? Give me cow kisses this morning. Yeah, all right. 216, little baby there, youngest of all. Doing good. We do have a new bull that's going to be coming to the farm in January. It's a South Pole bull. A South Pole is the breed. It's a little smaller cow. It's a little smaller bull, about the size of this cow right here. But yeah, everybody's looking good. I need to get some butt fertilizer onto my place. Black dirt that grows weeds, not grass. It sounds like you need to check the pH of your soil, my brother. If you've got black dirt. Yep. Will the hay help with winter grass for next year? Susie. Yes, it will. It'll absolutely help. It's going to help every day. Every day that carbon is put on the land here is building our topsoil. So let me just give you an example. Let me just take you over here and show you. This is red clay, okay? This is no topsoil right here. We got a little bit of organic matter, but this is no topsoil. This is red clay right here. This is what the entire farm has, like a red, loamy, sandy clay. Okay, now we look over here where the cows have been pooping and have been eating, and you'll see that is far from clay. Look at that. That's litter. That's it. That's moisture retaining, soil building litter. That is what we are working towards here, okay? So that's what we're going for. Yep. This was a field of nothing but weeds. And it's still almost a field of nothing but weeds. But I can see some clover coming in down here. Come on, camera, point down. There you go. I can see a little clover coming in down here. I put a little fescue grass out here, and I can see the fescue coming in. This is where I really concentrated last year, rolling out hay bales. And again, like I said, I can see the clover coming in. You can see where I rolled out into the ditches yesterday. And for those of you on Facebook, sorry we lost you yesterday. There was a glitch, I'm told, with my streaming software and Facebook. I got an email this morning about it. They were apologizing for losing our live stream. So they recognized the problem and they took care of it. Love the cows. Happy. Good job. Thank you, Trisha. They look fuzzier. Winter fur. Yep, exactly. What cows are they and what feed do you feed them? These are Black Angus beef cattle, and we feed them hay. This is grass-fed only. No grain. These are not grainivores. They are grassivores. So grass-fed only. Now you do whatever you want to do on your property, but we've chosen grass-fed. Grass-fed, no wormer, no medications, no. I mean, we don't treat a cow that's well with a pill. We treat a cow that's sick with what it needs to get better. But to be honest with you, we've lost one calf due to illness, but it was an unforeseen illness. She basically ate too many acorns. So nothing I really could have done about that. But the girls are looking good here. Everything's coming right along. Let me grab something off the four-wheeler that I forgot yesterday. It is quite frustrating on my part for the four-wheeler to be so hard to start. So again, I'm gonna have to come over here and figure out why that problem has surfaced. And also, this is a gimbal. It's frosty and frozen. I need to haul that back to the house. We don't treat a cow that's well. Exactly, Misty. Why? You know, it's just like this. If you put people in an overpopulated area and you overcrowd them, what happens? Disease, right? That's it. We learned this from the Black Plague. You know, we learned that. So what happens? The same thing happens with livestock. The same thing happens with goats. The same thing happens with cats. If you have 50 cats in a 20 square foot room, they're going to get sick because these animals can't, you don't see them grazing next to manure, do you? You can't graze them next to manure. There has to be a boundary between where your feces is and where your food is. So how many more years are you going to roll out hay bales? I'm going to roll out hay bales until the day I die, teenage farmer. So hopefully another 45 years. That's it. We're always going to roll out hay here on the farm. Will we mow hay? I'm not sure exactly when, but we'll always be rolling out hay. This is the plan. This is regenerating the land. Okay. Whatever's left behind, you see them stepping on it. What they're doing is just mashing that seed right into the ground. And you see how much is left behind by what's way out in the pasture. You see any out there? You can just see a trail basically. So they leave about, I don't know, 2% of the hay bale gets left behind. The rest of it gets consumed. And the girls are hungry. When are you dragging the pastures? Patrick Smith. Just talked about that, Patrick. Probably drag this pasture in about a month once the cows go back through here. Unless I get frisky and decide to do it sooner. We're going to go inspect this fence and inspect this water real quick. So guys, come along with me as we prepare for the move this evening so it's easier and simpler on me. I'll come out here. I've got to move the electric fence charger, the solar electric fence charger, and then I'll be moving the cows up into this pasture probably about 4:30, 5 o'clock, just before dark. I've got a Wooden Max wood chipper that I'll be testing out today. You guys will see that video come out this weekend, hopefully. Got a lot of firewood and stuff to take care of. Got a lot of dead standing trees on the farm. White oaks, red oaks, hickories, quite a few trees. So we got a lot of good firewood content coming. It's winter time. It's time to pack in the firewood for next season and hopefully some for this season if I can ever get power in the shop. I do have a power solution in the shop right now. It is a backup battery bank, and we'll be testing that out as soon as I can get some wiring done. All right. So I'm up here in the middle of the field. I'm going to turn the camera around and show you guys exactly what I'm checking. So you get a little taste of that farm life. There we go. Man, I'm out of breath this morning. I'm going to have to get in shape. For some reason, I'm way out of breath. So what we just fixed was a section of fence right here. This is approximately a 3-acre paddock that the cows will be on also. Let's go over here. So we got to inspect this line, this fence line right here. We're walking up on it now. We have to inspect that, make sure it goes all the way. We're going to give her a tug. Oh yeah, she's tight. She's good to go. Again, this is what the cows will be on this evening. Now we'll walk here, and they'll eat this, guys. They will eat a lot of this. They'll eat probably 85–90% of this. We are into the winter forage here, and we don't have much stockpile, and stockpile means forage that's sitting there waiting. Hopefully in the years to come, we'll have more and more and more. All right. So the next thing I need to inspect real quickly, we got rain. We got like an inch of rain day before yesterday and yesterday, I believe. And this is the section that the cows will be in. You still got a little water puddle with a little ice in there. I want to make sure we've got our water's good. Yep, good to go there. This is the water that had the leaky valve that I replaced. Okay, so the girls will again go into this pasture right here. They will have access to this pasture for 5 days. 5 hay bales will be rolled out on this land, okay? After that 5 days, they will move into here overnight, okay? Once they move into there overnight, they'll move into here for a little bit. Then they'll move to here, and we'll start walking them all the way through the farm here. We do have enough forage on each one of these paddocks that you see here to last the cows about a half a day. Okay, so hopefully the deal is if I put the hay in this pasture right before I move them, they won't eat this. They'll go for the easiest food. So they'll go walking around and they'll eat all the green stuff, and then they'll eat some of the hay, and then they'll lay down and waste more hay. So we want them hungry when we feed them. Okay, hungry lion hunts the best. All right, so that's what we do. We just have to inspect these fence lines all the way down through here and make sure it's all good. Did you get a deer this year? I have not had time to go hunting yet this year. So I've been thinking about getting one of those fence chargers, but I'm concerned whether it will work properly here in Connecticut where it snows. I don't know why it wouldn't work in Connecticut, brother. Snow doesn't have anything to do with it. And it snows here too. It's just maintenance, okay? So the electric fence charger charges a battery. There is a solar panel in there that charges 2 batteries actually in the IntelliShock 120. So that's what it does. It works all night long. It only sends out a minute pulse of electricity. So it's not constantly like zzz, you know, it sends out a pulse of electricity. So you need to know that going in. If it snows, you just simply wipe the snow off the top of it and call it good. If it's cloudy for 4 or 5 days, the fence charger still works just fine. So if that helps alleviate your fears, I will tell you this, you'll have to replace the batteries after about 5 years. That's pretty normal. It takes a lead acid battery, and you'll just have to take the old battery to Lowe's or Home Depot or wherever to recycle it. Thought I found my pocket knife. I'm missing 2 awesome pocket knives out here, and they fell off the tractor while I was mowing. Man, it must have been 3 to 5 years ago, and I'm still, every time I walk through, I'm looking for it. So maybe one day we'll find my pocket knives out here. My suspicion is they're way up there. When I go to Stony Ridge Farmer on Facebook, it shows no video. Is anyone else having the same issue? Michael, you are in watching the video right now. I don't know. You emailed me and I emailed you back. There's an issue on your end evidently, but you're watching the video right now, so evidently the problem has solved itself. You need a knife necklace like Doug from Doug and Stacy so that it can open up and I can fall down on it. Nuh-uh. I don't want to, I'm not talking trash. I love Doug and I love Stacy. They're great people. They are awesome people. They are salt of the earth. But if you guys don't know who Doug and Stacy are, you can tell them Stony Ridge Farmer sent you. Check them out. Doug is forever hurting himself, man. He's just forever seems to be hurting himself. I'm not wearing a knife on as a necklace. I don't wear necklaces. I can't do it. Even if I go to a trade show, I can't wear that thing. When I was a nurse, I could not, well, I still am a nurse. When I worked in the hospital, I could not wear my stethoscope around my neck. It just drove me crazy. I don't like something pulling on my neck. So, is there clover seed in those hay bales? Absolutely, man. Absolutely, Philip, for sure. On live videos, not on your page. So, Michael, there is when I schedule a live video, you'll see a post come up. Boom, that's the post. Then you'll see the live video when it actually comes up. So there are actually 2 posts for every live stream that I do over on Facebook. That might be why you're getting that. The sternum is a bad place to catch a blade. Yes, it is. It sure is, man. Absolutely. No more issues with trespassers on the farm. Thank goodness. Haven't had any kind of issues since the last one. Hopefully we don't have any more issues. We are in dire need of some dry weather. I was complaining about it being too dry, but we are in dire need of some dry weather so I can get out here and handle stuff like this tree right here. So I'm going to get out here. This is a red oak, and I'm going to cut this tree. We're going to cut the logs up to put on the sawmill to make fence boards, and we're going to take all that wood and we're going to chip it out into the pasture with the new WoodMax wood chipper. So should be pretty awesome. Awesome. Greg says, howdy from West Bygone, Virginia. Greg, okay. let's go ahead and put out this little fire. I've made silly West Virginia jokes, and people in West Virginia make silly West Virginia jokes too. People in Kentucky make silly Kentucky jokes. People in Virginia make Virginia jokes. And I was goofing around and made a West Virginia joke, and boy, I got nailed. I got nailed. West Virginia is a beautiful place, guys, an absolutely beautiful place. It's unfortunate that a lot of West Virginia has a lot of poverty. In fact, about a week ago, I guess a week ago yesterday, I was driving through Charleston, West Virginia, and just thinking, man, the city just needs to be cleaned up a little bit. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Greg? How many fence boards will that produce? 20 to 30. You know, I can't really look at that tree right there and tell you, but I'm going to say more than 20 to 30. That's probably a 40-foot tree, usable lumber on that. There'll be 8-foot pieces. So I'm going to say we'll probably get, looking at that tree right there, I'll probably get 4 cuts out of it. That's red oak. Hopefully it's not rotten. If it is, then we'll just, you know, if it's rotten down in there, then we'll go ahead and cut it up and make firewood out of it. But I'm going to say we're probably looking at more like 80 to 100 pieces of fence board there. I'm originally from New Jersey. What a joke itself. That's funny. Scott from Stoneville, North Carolina. What's up, neighbor? All right, we're trying to, I want feedback from Greg on the West Virginia jokes. Old age kills the trees. No. So, man, here's something that a lot of people just don't understand. And I've talked about this with foresters, and I've talked about this with regenerative farmers, and I've talked about this with my buddy Eustace Conway. I've talked about this with a lot of people. Each tree that you see out here has not only a root system that goes into the dirt. We think of things mechanically. We tend to think of things mechanically now that everything is mechanical or electrical, but they're not mechanical parts. These are not mechanical trees. They live in a symbiotic relationship with the land and the other trees and legumes and grasses and fungi that's in the soil. They all live together in a symbiotic relationship. So each tree feeds off of the other tree. The forest floor feeds off of the tree. And this tree was a beautiful red oak that I wanted to leave for the cows. This was the prettiest red oak in this section of timber, and I left it and it died. The reason it died is because we destroyed that symbiotic relationship all around it from the trees that were around it. So we bruised the roots, we pulled up all the stumps around that tree, and consequently it died. That's it. The red oak depends on the forest to survive. Now, if you look up here, you can hardly see it right there. There's a beech tree up there. A beech tree doesn't really have such a symbiotic relationship with the rest of the trees in the forest, so it will grow kind of out in the middle of nowhere. Same thing with a sycamore tree, same thing with a walnut tree. You'll see that. However, with a red oak like that, it's been growing in the forest. You know, that tree's probably 65 years old, maybe 70 years old. If we take away all the supporting root structure around it, and we take away all the trees that were around it, then we end up killing the tree, and that's what happened. So it's so sad that people have lost their sense of humor. Pamela, did we get an answer from Greg? Yep, there's bad areas in every city, but overall, our cities are beautiful, says Greg. Yep, I totally agree with you, Greg. 100%. 100%. Where I grew up here in Martinsville, Virginia, is a beautiful city. Parts of the city are beautiful. Parts of the city need some work. So, but anyway, I've made a silly West Virginia joke, boy, and I just got tore apart. I mean, we just make jokes. It's just jokes. It's lighthearted. It's fun. Gotcha. It's so sad that people lost their sense of humor, says Pamela. Yep. But anyway, Greg, I think your state's absolutely beautiful. I've got a couple buddies that just got back from riding the Hatfield and McCormick trails up there. As soon as we get the Honda Pioneer on the farm, and I don't have an update on that yet, but as soon as we get that on the farm, I think I'm gonna throw it on the trailer. I'm gonna zip up to West Virginia and do a little trail riding with Miss Stony Ridge. Probably take you guys along. So, any feedback on my shirt idea, Tammy, Stony Ridge Farmer Guard Donkey? I'll buy two. I don't know. We're working on getting hats and mugs out by hopefully tomorrow evening, and I'll let you guys know when the hats and the coffee mugs and stuff are out. Still working through getting some Stony Ridge coffee. So, try living 15 minutes from Baltimore. Yeah, I don't even know. I've got my cousin lives up there in Bethesda, Maryland, which is basically a suburb of Washington, D.C., I'm told. I don't know, Michael, you might be able to speak to that a little bit better. I've never been to Bethesda, but, you know, I prefer a place where I can stretch my legs a little bit, get outside and enjoy my life a little bit. So fresh air, sunshine, and being in tune with nature and the seasons is what I prefer. So, goodness gracious. Let's turn the camera around and let you guys take a look at the cows again. We'll continue to talk for a few minutes. There we go. So let's do a bale count real quick. 26, is that right? Was it 26 total bales here? We're gonna do a bale count together. How many bales did I have to start with? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13. So there were 26 total bales here, okay? That's just about a month worth of feed for the cows right there. So there's 13 right now, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So we've got 19 bales. Again, last day for the cows to be on this section for around 30 days. Airplane's getting ready to buzz me here. So last day for them right here. They will gobble all this down. They'll be over here laying down about the time I come around 4 o'clock this afternoon to move them. So don't forget the tripod. Oh, the tripod stays over here. I have about 15 tripods. So I break them all the time too. Cost of doing business. I have a tripod graveyard where I pull parts from because I probably have, gosh, I don't know, probably total I bought over the years has been maybe 30 over the last 7 years I've been doing social media. So this is the waterer for this section of pasture. Okay. They have access all the way back. So there's a line right here. They have access all the way back there. They were in this area. And again, like I said, guys, we'll be migrating the cows right up through there tomorrow, or this evening. So tomorrow's live stream, you'll see them up there. Cool. Got some stuff over here. This is an empty fuel tank that was over here in this area. I am potentially going to make that into a pit cooker, a pit smoker. What do you think? Working on that. These are irrigation pipes, and those irrigation pipes will be used for making flagpoles here on the farm. And we'll walk on down through here just a little bit. Awesome. Pretty day. Beautiful day. Beautiful, beautiful day. I've got 2 embroidery machines and white toner printer. If you want to make some one-of hats, let me know. Appreciate that, man. It's just tough for me to find the time to really dedicate to doing that. I'm moving and shaking, rocking and rolling all day, every single day. To be honest with you, typically I put out 3 to 5 videos a week on the regular channel. I film 3 to 5 new videos. And to be honest with you, this weather and cold and rain has set me back. And I don't have any content filmed for this weekend. So Daddy got to get to work. Good stuff. Let's see here. Reading your comments here. Josh, why did you go with 2 types of water systems, mirror fount and a tire? Do you have to go out and break ice on the tire water systems when it gets colder? So the jury's out on that, my brother. The jury's totally out on that. I'm not positive that I won't have to do that. I'm not sure just yet. I put in 2 different, I think I'd be cheating myself if I didn't try different things. Now we may try a Ritchie waterer also. So we've got Mira founts, we've got the tire water tanks, and potentially we may have some Ritchie water tanks. I want to know what the best is. And part of what I do here on the channel is not just build a farm just for me. It's building a farm to let you know and everyone else know what works and what doesn't work. That's important for you guys to know. So if something, for lack of better terms, if something sucks, I'm going to tell you. If it doesn't work, I'm going to tell you. So that's kind of it. That's why I built the tire water tanks, to see if they'd be a lower maintenance item than the Mira fount water tank. So that's why I did that. You can make a video on how to ride a guard donkey. I'm not riding Tammy. I don't want to get my butt kicked, man. There's one thing that's for sure. If you fool with horses, mules, or donkeys enough, you will wind up in the emergency room at some point. You will. That is it. Dad's been in the emergency room with broken ribs. Stepdad's been in the emergency room. I think he may have broken some ribs, tore some shoulder stuff. I mean, if you fool with horses long enough, you are going to wind up in the emergency room for it. If you farm long enough, you're going to wind up in the emergency room. Whether it's a cut, just a tiny, tiny little slip in judgment can cause that. So that's something to think about. Awesome. Well, folks, I want to thank you all so very much for joining me today on the Stony Ridge Farm Channel. Please hit that like button on your way out the door. If you're on Facebook, your homework assignment, hit that share button. Greg, I love West Virginia. Just want to let you know, man, I do love West Virginia, brother. I will refrain from West Virginia jokes unless I say, okay, guys, that's a joke. I love West Virginia. Sound good? Braden Lowe's in the house. Good to have you here, Braden. Will you sell more of the Stony Ridge Farmer gloves like you're wearing, Doug? These, I have probably 300 more pairs of the Stony Ridge Farmer work gloves, but man, I honestly go through, you can see how this one's kind of torn up. I go through them pretty fast. So what I do is I hand those out to friends and family that come here and help me work. So probably not, but maybe, I guess. Thanks, Greg. You have a good day too, brother. Michael, have a good day. Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. We'll see you in tomorrow's live stream. If it's not tomorrow, it'll be Saturday morning with Miss Stony Ridge. And yeah, got to get some work done. Weather's getting prettier. It's warming up a bit. And I just looking right here, I see 4 trees that could be used for firewood. 5 trees right now. There's some ash trees that are standing dead right here. They got to go. Guys, thanks a lot. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Woo!